I feel alone. I feel sad. I feel like I don't belong here. Am I weird? Why does no one like me? Hi there, this is Sam, and today will be a different approach to video making. I want to use this channel as a way to share my thoughts not only on technology but on different areas, different topics, and see what works, but also the thing that I'm talking about is also the thing that resonates with me. Today we'll be going over the ideas of cliques, which you'll see in the video that I've done research on. The reason why this resonates with me is because firstly, I am a Cambodian living in a city, and throughout my early year in educations, in primary school, in kindergarten, high school, I've been through cliques, and I've left it, and I've been abandoned sort of, and I felt lonely and sad throughout my years in high school, and I don't feel belong inside of the platform that I'm in. Also, I've stayed at an internship. I felt lonely and sad, and sometimes I questioned whether it is my fault or not. And at the end of the realization, I've come to a conclusion that it is not my fault, nor the faults of the people around me. It is just how we, as human beings, are programmed to think, programmed to feel. And in today's video, I'll be going over just that. The ideas of clique, how you might be a part of it, how you might have left it and feel lonely, sometimes blaming yourself for it. And hopefully this video will be detrimental to you and sort of govern you to a more positive idea toward yourself and also toward your situation. So yeah, enjoy the video and let's get started.
I feel alone. I feel sad. I feel like I don't belong here. Am I weird? Why does no one like me?
That comment was a comment that I always see on different social media platforms. People expressing their views toward their lives in school, their lives as adults working in different environments. And so the feeling of loneliness, anxiety, or the feeling related to being weird, being an outsider, sometimes correlates with you not belonging in a group. And so with this YouTube comment, I would like to take this opportunity to spread awareness as well as to start a new series on debunking different comments that might seem negative and to really see what are the psychology behind negativity or behind certain parts of negative aspect that affects our lives. And just like the comment that I read of people feeling sad, lonely, anxious, depressed, do not feel belong in a group, those stem from different reasons. And today we are going to explore the psychology of a clique. The clique definition refers to a group that sticks together and typically follows a well-defined set of rules and include a leaders. The members of a clique share common interests, but they can be restrictive to outsiders. Some examples of cliques can be different groups of people, which are athletes, nerds, popular kids, geeks, band students, and more. So the question many people may ask can be like, they're just a group of people hanging together. What can be the problems, right? Well, the idea of a clique, the psychology behind a clique, goes a lot deeper than that. By Katie Reed and Bailey Garnett, Psychology of Cliques and Stereotypes. From a psychological standpoint, cliques and stereotypes make a lot of sense. It is human nature to want to belong in a group. It is also human nature to want to categorize everything, including people. According to Mr. William, a psychology teacher at Fossil Ridge High School, people form cliques in order to feel safe and protected, and it can be harmful when one is not in the group. Cliques are important because they are safe. It is harmful to be outside of the group. Just like in nature, the lone antelope gets eaten, and those who stay together survive the longest, says William, the psychology teacher. Additionally, cliques also form because humans have a tendency to bond with each other when they have things in common. Psychology says that the first rule of attraction is proximity, being close to one another, and the second rule of attraction is similarities, having things in common. And so this means that we want to befriend people who are in close proximity to us and also befriend them because they share a certain level of similarity to us. For example, If you sit in a math class near a person every single day, you are more likely to befriend them because you see them every single day. The same goes for adults who work in different environments. The more they see their coworkers sitting next to them in a cubicle or in an open space environment, the more they are likely to befriend them. But befriending one another is not considered as clique. Cliques forms when more and more people join in together, creating a closed group of people sharing similarities and being in the proximity of one another. And the fact that they are all inside a group can cause harm to those outside a group. Additionally, clique also have something that psychology calls groupthink, in which the people in a group do not always do the right thing because they are afraid of going against this norm. This is where movies like Mean Girls come into play. When the people of a clique bully the outsiders, even if some of the group does not agree with the bullying taking place, they still comply because they do not want to go against the norm of the clique. The problem with cliques is that sometimes people would risk doing the wrong thing than getting out of the clique. And that is when the problem begins. When people have a groupthink mentality, when they see a problem, they don't approach it as a normal human being, but instead they ask their friend inside the group, and sometimes wrong and bad decisions can be made, and each member or individual inside the clique would turn a blind eye to it. You see, in regard to the problem it poses, what a clique does is that it allows the people within it to unconsciously view the outsiders as different, or even worse, as enemy. And so imagine the feeling students or adults would receive when faced with a clique in their own working environment or studying environment. In regards to student and education, the problem it poses is how clique makes it hard to concentrate in class. According to an interview State Impact.NPR did with multiple students, clique brings a feeling of humiliation and shame, making it hard for students to focus in school. An example raised by the interviewee is how she felt after getting ignored in a bus and sitting alone having no one to talk to. Even things as small as being ignored inside a class can emotionally impact a person's ability to perform in class or in a workplace. You might call it immaturity, but that is exactly what clique can do to a person's emotion. It can cause trauma on an early age of childhood. And for the people within the clique, it can cause a feeling of false superiority over another person and many other problems it can pose. And the problem with cliques is not just how it makes it hard to concentrate in class, but it also can be worse as well. According to A.U. Zarbatani leans on understanding processes of peer clique influence. Clique or groups of peers who interact frequently are key social context during childhood and adolescence, providing safety and preferential access to resources, and they can have detrimental effects on childhood development and perspective both on a negative and positive terms. And the article also states that understanding clique influence processes can inform efforts to help children and youth resist the negative influences of cliques while protecting the benefit of membership. So what this one study among many basically try to say is that the ideas of membership, the ideas of having a team, a group, is not negative itself, but it's just that the idea of a clique, a group of people sharing close similarity and proximity, showing aggression toward the outsiders, that is something that can cause a lot of bad and negative influence to people, to the point where it affects its early adolescence, to the point where it affects youth on many different levels, psychological, and to a certain extent physical as well. And from those studies, it is said that people affected by cliques are observed to have their communication skill decreased, and that adults would feel socially isolated and lonely, and this can even lead to higher chance of that person experiencing anxiety and depression. And clique doesn't just end with our childhood experience. The same groupthink effect also applies to workplace. And so the question is, what should we do about it? Do you think that you are also in a clique? Well, first of all, it is important to understand again that not all cliques can be considered bad. However, in nowadays society, the ideas of clique is perceived to be negative. But it's not just that clique can always bring traumatic experiences to childhood developments or bring negative influence to youth as a whole or to adults in different workplaces. In fact, clique can also lead to a positive experience, although psychology might argue that that is considered as a group or membership to a group or friends or friends group. And so to understand whether you're in one or not, it is important to draw a line whereby a group of friends and a clique is different, because a clique would normally act with aggression or be indifferent toward those outside of their group, whereas a group of friends would be more open to accept new ideas, new interests, new commonalities, so on and so forth. On the other hand, if you think that you're in a clique, if you think you're in one, do not feel guilty about what you have done so far or what your group have done so far. You got to remember that a clique does not always mean that you have to follow the orders every single time or by all means necessary. You got to remember that you are also a human being with your mind and soul intact and your physical body's appearance intact, and you can make decisions for yourself. Speak out to wrongdoings. Decide how you want to treat others, like how you want to be treated. And if you were to experience indifference from them to you, then it's fine. It's just a path of you finding new friends, new people who would accept you for who you are, rather than you forcing yourself to share commonalities with other people, closing proximity to other people, and just be friends with a group of people, being indifferent toward others. You got to be empathetic, and that is how you generally get out of a clique. Myself was sort of a person who tried to fit in groups of people, especially back in primary school. I always tried to be the class clown. I always tried to make jokes about myself. I always try to show this off and show that off. As a 11 or 12-year-old boy, I didn't have the psychological understanding that it is not necessary for me to do any of that. Then in high school, around the age of 14, 15, I started to be less of that. I still talk a lot, but I try to not fit in as much. Granted, it's also because I don't have a lot of money. I just leave class and go home immediately because I do not have the money to spend and stay around in school or to go to cafes with people. Sometimes I feel lonely, sometimes I feel sad, sometimes, actually even till this day, I still feel that I finished my entire high school without having any post-interaction with friends. But then I realized that it is not my fault, it is not my friend's fault, it is not my acquaintance's fault, it's not the people inside the class fault that made me feel that way. It's just how it goes. If you display your behavior and none accepted it, it's just that you're not in the right situation. There are more and more people who will be willing to accept you. Friendship should be grown out appropriately and not forced. Friendship takes time and it's not forced. And friendship does not last a long time. Sometimes it can grow out. Sometimes you can outgrow that friendship. Or sometimes you both do not have time for each other and it sort of fall out, but you're still friends. Friendship does not mean that you have to share similarity and to be close together like a clique would normally behave. So that is it. That is what I want to share with all of you today regarding cliques, with all of the research that I've done. Hopefully you will not behave unknowingly that, oh, I am actually starting a clique, or oh, I am inside of a clique. Hopefully you behave to others the way you want to be treated back. And if you feel lonely, hopefully you will have friends or loved ones supporting you later on down the line. So yeah, this has been a very rather strange video. I'm experimenting. The reason why I'm making this video is because I am a person who loves different ideas and topics and love talking especially. And I love doing research. I love researching about space, psychology, technology, anime, I guess, boxing, sports, so on and so forth. And I was like, I don't have any more contents to do. Why just explore other things, other different areas of topics in my free times, and to share with those who would relate and to those who find the message to be sort of helpful. If not, and you want me to discuss another topic, leave a comment down below. Maybe I share a similarity to what you're suggesting. Anyway, this has been quite a serious topic. I'm talking about it because I used to be inside the shoes of people who are in a clique or who want to be a part of a clique, or shoes of a person who is basically alone, sad and lonely throughout the years in high school and primary school. Yeah, that was me, and I just want to share it with you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Again, leave your comments down below on what you want me to do next. And with that being said, this has been Sam with the Everyday Sam channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out and goodbye.